Temperatures right now a lot colder than what we were seeing earlier today. In fact, the midnight temperature here in Cincinnati was around 45 degrees, and we're sitting in the 20s right now. Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. It's the last Friday before Christmas holiday, before we're hitting the roads for those holiday plans. And yes, it's cold outside, but thankfully today is kind of our one and done taste of winter, at least for the next 10 days. We do see temperatures right now everywhere in the 20s. We're feeling extra cold at times considering the wind chill, but thankfully not seeing anything falling from the sky anymore. Yesterday we had a lot of rain, we had a lot of winds. We're still hanging on to those winds, but at least we're taking a pause on the rain and the snow. Here's what's on our radar. Of course, we're back to winter today. We woke up with some ice outside, a little bit of snow as well, and then we're feeling pretty cold too. But as soon as tomorrow, we're back into the 50s. Weather whiplash heading into that forecast. Our Christmas travel forecast, that's looking good. We do have some rain moving through the area next week. Ample opportunity to see that. So more on that coming up in just a second. It's 29 here in Cincinnati. The winds are making it feel like the teens. Not pleasant to be outside, and we don't see much sun. We're not going to see much sun throughout the day today. Visibility does look good. I'd say the biggest impact here going to be the cold, but also the winds. So keep in mind, while yesterday was the breezier day of the 2 days, yesterday and today, Thursday and Friday, still want to keep the inflatables down because wind gusts are around 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're going to see these die down a little bit into your weekend. We have lighter winds for Saturday, Sunday. You can probably put those back up. But look at these winds. These are the strongest wind gusts reported so far today. The strongest wind gust at 42 miles per hour up in Richmond, Indiana. And we've got closer to about 35 miles per hour here in Cincinnati, Lebanon 33. We can't rule out just some isolated 40 mile per hour wind gusts into the afternoon. Now, not adding any rainfall throughout the day today. That's the good news. Good change of pace here. But we did receive a good amount of rain across the tri-state yesterday. If you were stuck out in it, maybe running some errands last night, some dinner plans, you certainly saw the downpour. The line of downpours, I should clarify, across the tri-state. So the Lunken Airport came in hot, just over 1.5 inches of rain with last night alone. And then Williamstown, Kentucky, farther south, less than 1.5 inches rather. And Rabbit Hash, 1.17. Kings Mills up closer to Kings Island, just over 1 inch of rain. Generally speaking, most of us got at least half of 1 inch of rain, if not closer to that 1 inch mark. And as soon as we saw those temperatures fall overnight into today, yeah, we saw that whatever rain was left over and made the transition into snow, and we did see some snowfall moving through the tri-state, of course. Aurora, Indiana picked up just over 1/4 of an inch of snow. Hamilton closer to 2/10 rather of an inch. Burlington closer to the airport, a little bit less than 1/10 of an inch. Wilmington as well, around that range, and then the northern Kentucky area, Villa Hills, Park Hills areas, just a trace of snow. I mean, I woke up to it in the eastern side of Hamilton County. Just a little bit of snow out there. I'd say it was more of an ice than it was a snow, just because we had the rain moving through, the temperatures cooled down, and I definitely needed to battle a little layer of ice out there on my car this morning. But at least we're nice and quiet right now on radar in terms of the rain and the snow, but we do have plenty of clouds out there. I mean, this upper level cloud deck, we're not seeing much sun. You'll see some filtered sunshine as we work into the afternoon, but generally speaking, we are just pulling in these much colder temperatures. But as soon as we see that cold front, you see there on the right side of your screen, as soon as that pulls out and away from the tri-state, the winds are going to start to die down, the winds are going to start to switch direction, and as a result, those temperatures are going to be climbing compared to what we're seeing now. Several of us are going to try to get close to 20 degrees warmer than what we are sitting at right now here across the tri-state, which we're sitting in the mid to upper 20s. Everywhere we look, it feels like the teens, though, once you factor in these guys. These winds gusting up to and around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Right now, our strongest wind gust at the moment, Lunken Airport at 40 miles an hour. Your high today, we already hit it, 32. I'd say, 45 was the warmest temperature of the day. That was at midnight, but we saw temperatures in the low 30s. We could very well get there again, depending on that sunshine trying to peek through the clouds. It's not out of the question. Generally speaking, your evening ahead, it's going to be cold as well. Temperatures taking a tumble away from the low 30s back into the middle 20s, waking up tomorrow morning. So even though we're warmer in the afternoon tomorrow, we do have a nice cold start to your weekend. dropping into the 20s for your Saturday morning plans. It's also going to be a little bit breezy for the first half of the weekend. Certainly nothing to compare to what we're seeing right now, which are winds gusting up to 30 to 40 miles an hour. But look at Saturday, we get you into your afternoon and into your evening. Those winds are going to be gusting. Oh, I mean, look, here's the heat of the day, or quote unquote heat of the day, 25, maybe 30 mile per hour wind gusts. So noticeable, but definitely not as strong as what we're seeing right now. So if you're heading out to the Festival of Lights, it's going to be busy, I think, every day this weekend, just because it is, of course, the last weekend before Christmas. And if you're wanting to dodge the crowds, I'd say Friday is probably your best. I mean, today is your best bet, just because I think most of the general population, we'll call it that, will gravitate towards Saturday because it's warmer. It's going to be a little sunny to lead off your afternoon and evening plans. But, I mean, if you want to beat the crowds, tonight's your night, as long as you can get and deal with the cold, because the high today 32, but the evening temps are going to be back in the 20s, and it's also going to be a little bit breezy. Tomorrow, your better weather day out of all 3 of your weekend days, high of 50 degrees, and then Sunday, a dry cold front kicks through the tri-state. It's going to be noticeably cooler compared to Saturday, but not as cold as today. See, it's weather whiplash. We're just kind of riding the waves here, up and down, up and down. And tomorrow's the up, near 50-degree highs. We'll see some filtered sunshine. And then Sunday, that's when temperatures are going to be back in the 30s, low 40s as well. And that's because we have that dry cold front kicking through the tri-state. It's maybe going to bring a light shower. That's really it. I'd say most of us are going to have to wait for the rain until next week. And look at these temperatures. To give you that idea of what to prepare for next week, temperatures go right back to being above normal. Once we get through today, we have a little bit of a hill on Saturday on the 50s, back below normal on Sunday, and then we just keep climbing into your holiday travel week. You're not going to be worried about the snow or the ice. Not concerned about that at all. With highs like this, it's going to be very difficult, not only for anything to any snow to fall, any ice to fall. It's all just going to be rain, but also those overnight lows are not looking too cold as well, for lack of a better term. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, each day has a chance for some rain. We'll unpack it here on your weather timeline in just a second. And I'd say Christmas Day, it's not looking like a washout. That's the good news here. I don't think any day is looking like a washout because temperatures are still just able to climb. Forecasting a high of 61 now on Christmas Day. We bumped that up a little bit. It's going to be one of the warmer days out of the next 10. So here is what to expect in terms of the rainfall. Maybe a slim shower chance on Monday, Tuesday though, and Wednesday and Thursday. Those 3 days have a good opportunity for you guys to see some light rain. I'm not seeing any big widespread impacts here, but if you're hitting the roads, a little rain can go a long way. So something you'll want to have that Fox 19 First Alert weather app at the ready, getting you out the door. Because I mean, each one of these days in the next week is going to be bringing in a chance for some rain. So here is your weather timeline. Let's start with today. Not worried about the rain today. Tomorrow, we have that cold front kicking through the area late tomorrow, pulling in much cooler temperatures for Sunday. Again, it's a dry cold front. I'm not forecasting much in the way of rain at all or snow for your weekend, but temperatures with this cold front passing through, they're going up just to go right back down. But then they go right back up again into your holiday week. We do have some opportunities for rain though. Here's the first one. It's going to be on Tuesday. Arriving as rain, really dark and early. Notice we're not seeing anything too organized with this. We'll let you know if that changes, but this makes sense. Warmer air is lifting into the tri-state. Usually when that happens, there's not a lot of organization to this. Expect a little bit of rain. That'll be for Tuesday morning, and then we get into the afternoon, dry out a little bit. Now, kind of the opposite for Christmas Eve. Starts out a little bit on the dry side, but as Santa starts to come back here into the tri-state, we do have some rain showers to wrap up Christmas Eve. Keep this in mind for any of the Christmas Eve services going on. And then we're going to hang on to the light rain chances until early Christmas. The afternoon looks drier right now, and then we pull into the following weekend. So not this weekend, but the next. We have another stronger system trying to come into the tri-state. But I mean, from what I'm seeing now, your holiday week, I'm not seeing any cold fronts passing on through. That's good because temperatures are just going to warm up. We do have some rain chances, but they're not big pattern changing rain chances. So I'm not expecting a lot in the way of rainfall at all. I mean, let's show you what those rainfall totals are looking like right now anyways, which are not too substantial. I mean, we're talking half of an inch, maybe closer to an inch once everything is said and done with your Christmas week. I mean, I brought you all the way through. Yeah, not too bad at all. And then, I mean, for most of the Great Lakes area and most of the Ohio Valley, not expecting more than an inch of rain once everything is said and done. So, and while Christmas is going to be pretty warm this year, one of the warmest, we'll show you that here in just a second, it's not going to be bringing too much rain, certainly not the wettest one we've ever seen. So a reminder that our most recent white Christmas was just 3 years ago, 2022, and then our warmest one, our hottest one, if you will, was the year prior, 2021 at 69 degrees. And to put in perspective, our high right now, our forecast high, 61 degrees. And we do have some rain chances. And depending on those rain chances, we could see that that high lower a little bit. It could be a little bit cooler just with the rain sticking around, but something to watch. We'll see a little bit of rain moving through on Christmas, but that's really your biggest impact here. So checking it twice, here's what to expect here in the tri-state. We check it a lot here at Fox 19, but we'll check it continuously all the way up until your Christmas holiday. Temperatures looking good. Have a little bit of rain moving on through, so naughty, but just by default. And then winds are looking pretty okay too. Not too worried about that, but the biggest impact to Santa, to your travel, going to be the chance for some light rain here and there. Here are your warmest Christmases here in Cincinnati on record. Again, our warmest one was 2021, forecasting a high for this year at 61, so that would tie for 6th place for warmest Christmases here in Cincinnati. Again, that's the official record at the Cincinnati airport. Some of us will be warmer than 61, others will be cooler, but this is just for the Cincinnati tri-state area. And then beyond that, we're getting into 2026 territory here, folks. Our warm streak just continues above normal temperatures all the way through the first few days of 2026. Let's talk about the weather. Let's see if we have any questions coming on in on our Facebook live stream. JD is tuning in. How are you doing today? What's the weather for Canton tomorrow morning? And what's the weather for tomorrow morning? JD, I'm doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow in Canton, at least in the morning, going to be a little cooler than us here in the tri-state, so expect low temperatures in the low 20s. Still a bit breezy with that low kicking out in the way from the tri-state, so going to be feeling colder at times, and maybe with those northwesterlies, some light snowflakes up that direction for Canton. For us here locally, no snow, but very cold. Waking up tomorrow in the middle 20s. No other questions coming on in. Let's bring up that first alert extended forecast. Weather whiplash continues into your holiday week. It started with this week, let's be honest. We started off the week below zero with a bunch of snow on the ground. We went to the 50s, had some storms, now we're back to freezing, and tomorrow we're back into the 50s. Roller coaster, folks, weather whiplash. And tomorrow, again, cold start to the day, 24, but then the afternoon we nearly double that temperature, 50 degrees, your forecast high for Saturday afternoon. We're briefly cooler again on Sunday with a dry cold front kicking through the tri-state. You'll notice a breeze, but you're not going to see much in the way of rain at all, if any. And then Monday, that starts our warm-up back into the middle 40s for Monday. Afternoon clouds. Here comes the rain chances. Again, pretty light where we do see it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So the 23rd, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day all have opportunities for rain. But temperatures, they just keep climbing. Low 50s on Tuesday, middle 50s on Wednesday, low 60s on Thursday, Christmas Day. Spotty showers in that forecast. And it's not until next weekend that we see our next cold front that'll start to pull in a little bit cooler temperatures, or at least relatively cooler temperatures compared to the days leading up to it. But wardrobe workout sort of weeks, really. We've been in this very active pattern across the tri-state, and this upcoming 10 days is not going to be any different. Okay, no other questions coming on in, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Today is Friday the 19th, the last Friday before Christmas, and this weekend is going to be great for any and all of those last-minute shoppers, any and all of those lights, those plans to go see the Christmas lights around town. We've got so many wonderful places for you guys to check out those Christmas lights, and we encourage you to go to our website, fox19.com, to get the latest on what's open. Everything should be open. It's the first weekend of or excuse me, the weekend before Christmas, the final weekend before Christmas. And it's going to be busy. People are ready to get ready for the holidays, and thankfully the weather is fit for it. We'll have the latest information for you guys about the holiday travel forecast coming up later on today on Fox 19 at 3 o'clock. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Friday and have a fantastic weekend.